How is it going, guys? It is time for another new products video. We're gonna be covering the GR86 and BRZ, and we've got some bangers to talk about this month, so let's take a look at what we've got. Of course, we've got some new driven media products to talk about, one of which are these wide angle heated mirrors. These are gonna drastically increase your visibility, widening your field of view up to 30%, essentially eliminating your blind spot. They also have a blue tint built in that's gonna cut down on any glare from headlights behind you or maybe the sun's behind you. And you're also gonna maintain the functionality of your heated mirrors. They're super easy to install. It's a direct replacement. So what I'm gonna do is get the camera in the car, pointed directly at the mirror, mark a spot on my driveway so I'm standing at the same spot, and give you a comparison between the OEM mirrors and the new wide angle mirrors. So right now we're looking at the OEM mirror and I'm sitting right next to the rear wheel. So take a mental picture of what you're able to see through this mirror. The location of the camera isn't gonna change. The only thing that's gonna change is the new mirror I'm installing. I've got the new mirror installed. You can obviously tell by the blue tint, but you can also clearly see the huge difference in visibility. And like I said, I'm sitting in the exact same spot. The camera hasn't moved, but you can see much more of what's around me. With a stock mirror, I took up most of the stock mirror and it was essentially at chest level. But now you can see most of my body besides the lower half of my legs. But the fact is, you can see much more of what's around you. And with driving around a small sports car, that's super important. And with how easy these are to install, it's a no-brainer. We'll pop open the hood and talk about the next part. Now, these cars still come with a hood prop. And I get it, it's an economic sports car. They're trying to cut costs, but come on, it's 2023. We should not be needing hood props anymore. Instead, we should be using these. These are the driven media hood struts. They're available in two different options. I've got the carbon fiber version installed on the car right now, but if you want an OEM look, there's also a normal black version. Now, these are super simple to install. They open the hood higher than the hood prop, which gives you more room to work, and you no longer have to deal with the hood prop being in the way when you're working in the engine bay. So it's functional and it looks a lot cleaner. Last up for driven media, we've got the carbon fiber key fob covers. I've been rocking the matte finish on mine, but it's also available in a gloss or forged option. These are molded to fit perfectly around your keys to protect them from drops. I've already dropped mine and there's a scrape on here, but it looks freaking sick. So if you're looking to spice up your keys and add a bit of a carbon fiber accent, pick up one of these. We're moving on to Varus Engineering, one of the best functional aero manufacturers for these cars. They've been developing a bunch of new parts and we're gonna cover a few in this video that I think you guys will be interested in. Now, if you own one of these cars and you like driving around with your windows down at higher speeds, you've probably experienced the wind buffeting. The track guys know exactly what I'm talking about because you have to have your windows down to track your car. It's uncomfortable and will give you a headache after a few minutes. Luckily, Varus Engineering has come out with the perfect solution. These are their anti-buffeting wind deflectors. They install on the window frame and direct the air away just enough to get rid of that annoying buffeting. It's available in a matte black, which is gonna be the more affordable option, or you can ball out and go for the carbon fiber. Speaking of functional aero, we've got to talk about their Aero Package, which includes the front splitter, air dam, canards, the side splitters, transmission tunnel cover, rear diffuser, and the UCW wing. If you're looking to get the most performance out of these cars and you're tracking it, it is absolutely crazy how much aero can affect your grip levels. I remember installing the aero on my FRS and taking it out on the track for the first time. It blew my mind how much faster you can go. With the full kit installed on this car, you're gonna see over 300 pounds of downforce at 100 miles per hour with a minimal increase in drag. Varus Engineering CFD tests their parts and also wind tunnel tests some of their parts to verify the CFD testing to make sure that you're getting the performance. So if you're looking to add aero to your car, definitely check out the options I just mentioned. On top of that, they've got a hood louver that's very similar to the one that the GR Cup cars are running. That's gonna help to extract the heat from the engine bay. We've got a brake cooling kit, again, to help control those temperatures. And they also have some engine bay dress up. My favorite being the engine bay caps. I hate the yellow caps that come on the car. The black caps that I have installed look tons better. For those of you that are looking for an aftermarket intake system for your GR86 or BRZ, HKS just recently released their cold air intake system. I actually saw the prototype at SEMA last year, so it's cool to see that it's now available. Of course, it being HKS, it's gonna be quite spendy, but I know there are some of you out there that like to spend stupid amounts of money on your car like myself, and I'm just enabling you. You're welcome. Some other items that I saw from HKS at SEMA that are now available are their oil cooler kits. Very important on this car, especially if you track it, because these are notorious for high oil temperatures. And if you don't take care of your oil temps, you're gonna end up with a blown engine. Now, if you do happen to blow your engine, HKS does have a 2.5 liter stroker kits and thicker head gaskets for you. If you guys are installing a new suspension setup on these cars, one thing to pay attention to is the fact that they don't come with any rear camber adjustability from the factory. So if you lower your car, you're kind of just stuck with the natural camber that you get. The way to fix that is by installing a set of adjustable lower control arms. Whiteline just recently released their Motorsports Series adjustable lower control arms that are a little bit more performance oriented compared to their previous version. These are going to allow up to 3.5 degrees of camber adjustability. That's going to allow you to dial in your alignment to perfect your fitment and maximize your grip. Hopping back inside the car, we're going to talk about one of the most popular modifications that people do to their interior, and that is an aftermarket shift knob and reverse lockout. And it makes sense because these are things that you touch every single time you get in and drive the car. These are the types of modifications that make the overall driving experience better. So if you are looking for a shift knob or reverse lockout, I'd highly suggest you take a look at the options available from Racing. They make super high quality parts. This is the Stratus here. I opted for the black suede or Alcantara outer with a matte black core. We've got the gate pattern engraved on top, but there are a bunch of different options available on their website. I also have a matching reverse lockout as well. This is much heavier than the stock shift knob. It's gonna feel great rolling through the gears, and I'm gonna have an install video for you guys later on. For those of you that are looking for a new exhaust system and your main priorities are quality and a mature exhaust tone with no drone, Apex I has you covered with the N1 Evo Extreme. There's two different options. You can go with a dual exit or a single exit. If you do opt for the single exit, they have an exhaust hole cover that fills in the hole on the other side that you can pick up. I actually tested out the dual exit system on this car and my FRS a while back, and it sounds immaculate. When I say that these exhausts are top tier, the build quality is absolutely beautiful and worth every penny. I'm actually going to be testing out the single exit for you guys later on as well, but if you want to opt for something that's a bit more rowdy, you can go with their N1 Evolution R. That's going to be more of a race inspired exhaust, so obviously a bit louder. These exhausts are something that you don't see every day, and you're gonna get that JDM quality and those JDM vibes. So check out Apex I if you're looking for a new exhaust system. I highly suggest you check out the Apex I USA website because they actually import a lot of other JDM parts that are hard to find, things like the whole Maxarito catalog, the Tom's parts like their big brake kits, the over fenders, wide body, and other accessories. There's also a Casio GT Aero hood that I am contemplating on picking up for this car. I think it looks fantastic, but let me know what you guys think. Comment down below whether or not I should swap out the hood on the GR86 for the Casio one. Let's talk about some more performance parts for this car. Some of you guys may know JDL Auto Design. They have a ton of support for the previous gen, and they're doing the same thing for the second gen. There's a bunch of exhaust components that they've developed, but we're talking about their turbo kit that they just recently released. The thing I love most about this kit is that it is a no cut, no permanent modification install. So if for some reason you were wanting to take the kit off and go back to stock, you can easily do so. Now it utilizes a Garrett turbo. You've got 3 different options. There's a Jesse Cat in the downpipe. There is a coil core intercooler. You can get the charge pipe in either a wrinkle red or wrinkle black finish, and you can Cerakote the rest of the piping, either titanium, tungsten, black, or bronze. And you can also opt for a pre-welded oil pan, so you don't have to worry about doing that on the one that comes on the car. Now, on their shop car running the standard turbo, which is the GT2971R on E85 with 6 PSI, they were able to achieve 335 wheel horsepower and 280 wheel torque. And that is a substantial increase in power for such a lightweight car. I think that's more than 100 more horsepower than this car currently makes. So that thing is probably a riot to drive. Who knows? Maybe we should turbo this thing. Now, last up for this month, I've got something that I've actually shown you guys before. It's the HRS Elite Series taillights, but I only showed you guys the one version they had available at the time. Since then, they've released 3 new options. I showed you guys the SBR, which is the smoke lens, black housing, and red running light. Now they have a CBR, which is essentially the same thing except with a clear lens. They've got an SBW, which is a smoke lens, black housing, and white running light. And then they have their clear taillights, which is the CBW, which is clear lens, black housing, and white running light. Those are the clear taillights that some of you guys may have seen posted around in the groups. I'm actually gonna have a separate video covering those taillights to show you how they look on the car. But if you guys are looking to swap out your taillights, these are probably one of my favorite ones right now that are available. Well, there you go, guys. That is going to do it for the month of August. If you liked anything you saw, the links are all down in the description. If you've made it this far, huge thank you. If you happen to be interested in any of the products on the Driven Media website, you can use the code KV5 for 5% off your order. If you guys have any questions whatsoever or video suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.